Matamshi ya vinywa vyetu ikawe ni matamshi ya kujenga taifa letu la Kenya, kujenga jamii zetu na maisha yetu kibinafsi. Naomba Bwana utuongoze katika wakati huu kwa mambo yote ambayo tutakayoenda kunena. Tukanene katika akili zetu timamu na katika hekima uliotupatia. Na mwisho wa mambo yote, sifa zote, utukufu na shukrani zikuwe zako. Kwa jina la Yesu tumeomba na tumeamini.
The reason why we came up with this debate is because when we sat down as elders and leaders of this city, we realized that Juja, though has been represented, we felt like we are not really satisfied with the representation. And we also noticed that we have the county government and the national government, and we have not really benefited from the county government. We have not really benefited from the national government. Yes, we can say that they have done something, but probably if we had a good representation in parliament and also in the county assembly, we could probably do better. Why are we saying this? We realize that Juja is very rich. We have like 5 good rivers. We can do farming. We have machine cut stone. We have natural resources. This city is rich. But when we look to the fraction of the people that are in this city, we realize that we have a big proportion of people who are poor. For instance, our education system is not very good. I understand that we were number 2 in class 8, the just concluded class 8. But the mean score was 276, I think. So we can't really say that we are doing very well, although we cannot go lamenting that like we are dying. And therefore, we came up with this debate, and we want to thank God for the members or the aspirants who are here with us. We are still waiting for one who have confirmed and understand is within the facility, and therefore we are going to have a healthy debate. And we do a few remarks. Probably I would ask, let us recognize the people who have been burning the midnight oil. We will do that later at the tail end of the debate, but probably we can just stand and probably we can receive a clap. Please, the elders who have been doing that, please. Some of them, they are already uniformed. They have been working. They have been burning midnight oil. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you so much for the facilitation. Asanteni sana. Tunaweza kuketi. I want to introduce our moderator today. Our moderator is our own son, Jkuat of Wega TV. Karibu sana Bwana Jkuat.
Thank you very much. All the time. My name is Juja, this moderator, and Waheshimiwa, karibuni sana. So we are going to take 1 hour 30 minutes. That's the time that it's almost 8, so which means by 9:30 we shall be through. And we are going to start, and I'm going to give each Waheshimiwa person 3 minutes to introduce himself, and you tell us what you have done for the community within Juja constituency. 3 minutes are enough, and we are going to work with the time. Thank you. Start with that call.
Good evening. Okay, good evening once more. Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity to all the event organizers. I'm very grateful to be given this opportunity. My name is David Kamau. I am an aspirant, member of parliament aspirant for Usawa Party, under Usawa Party. I want to say for the last 5 years, since I completed my university, actually I was a student here, doing bachelor in mass communication. So for the last 5 years, I have been gotten a privilege to work into different organizations, and most of the organizations, they are humanity organizations. They deal in empowering communities. An example is the Kenya Red Cross. It has various programs. Those programs include, for example, during the COVID-19, it was actually, we were very active in terms of cash transfer programs, and some of the areas that actually benefited, I will not specifically say it was Juja, because you know the way Kenya Red Cross work, it works across the country. But I want to be specific on a project that I was able to contribute fully. It was, the project was in terms of awareness and civic education, where we used to enlighten people in terms of preventive measures, COVID-19 preventive measures. On the other hand, I've also worked with other organizations, and those organizations we used to train students, especially those students who have completed universities and colleges. So my main work was to train them in terms of skills. Those skills included the job skills. So they were able now to be absorbed by different employers. So I want to say this, the reason I want to be voted in as a member of parliament is that I'll be able to bring on board different organizations to come to Juja and contribute in terms of training our students who have completed universities. In most cases, they will be able to get the necessary skills.
Mr. Kamau, your time is over.
Okay, thank you.
Next, Mheshimiwa.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening. Good evening, once more. My name is Kevin Karajamongi, MP aspirant, Juja constituency. And I first thank you all for sacrificing your time and finding time to come and attend this debate, so that you may hear the ideas we have, so that you may hear the plans we have for Juja, so that you may hear what we have in our minds that is beneficial to our society. And I don't have a very big background in politics, because I graduated in 2018, and I found that my degree did not give me any job in this country, because I'm one of the people who are very vigorous and believe that after you got that certificate, you can get the job immediately. But after going around, after visiting many offices, after visiting different organizations, after going in almost all companies, not only in Juja, but in Kiambu, in Nairobi, all over, and contacting friends and families, I found I could not secure any job opportunity. And I started gathering my fellow graduates, because I know that there's something that I realized, that youths are facing that problem. The government networks as our jobs. So after, I can't say they were riots, but we use social media as a tool. And my first job was kazi kwa vijana. You remember that job? I became an overall supervisor here in Juja. And there was another one that was called kazi ndani. I was eliminated in the national committee. And I don't have a very big history, but that gave me an opportunity of interacting with the residents of Juja every day. Because I could get a call from a pastor, maybe in Delta, maybe in a certain ward, send youths, make them clear path for us. Let's have a certain path cleared. Let's have a drainage system. Let's have this and that. Let's have this and this bush cleared. And that is how I started engaging directly to the community. And I'm here today seeking for your support that I become the 6th member of parliament of Juja constituency. Thank you. I don't want to exceed my time. You have said it is a short introduction of yourself. That is me. I'm Kevin Karaja Mwangi, and I'm seeking for your loyal support as we go for the nominations. I'm with the Jubilee Party. We've been going for the party nominations next week. Thank you.
I'm the only black man in the world who makes road stands. I thank God for that. And I cannot say I'm right, but I know that's a gift from God. And I want to use that innovative mind, that gift from God, to help develop Juja. I humbly request for your vote. You vote for me, what will you get back? Let me put it simply and in Swahili. Tutatajirisha Juja, tuishi vizuri. What else do you want? Now, when I say that, am I capable? So let me mention a few things that I've done in the legislature that is remaining. In the 1990s, when some of us were still in school, some parcels of land were grabbed, namely the DO's office, church, a nursery school, road reserve, public toilet, and the polytechnic land, which was eventually converted to Jkuat. Now, many people from the 1990s up to 2017 fought to try to get the land back, but they never succeeded. In 2017, the National Land Commission under Swazuri, they came to Thika. I went there. I was the only one who represented Thika. Sorry, I represented Juja. I went to Thika. I'm the only one who represented Juja in the court. And against the lawyers who are representing the people who have grabbed the land, I managed to lobby, and all those 6 parcels of land are back in Juja. Thank you. Some time back, there's some American top ophthalmologists. These are eye doctors. I met them, and they were having a party, and they were celebrating the way they've been helping the developed world. When I looked at the countries they go, I asked them, wait a minute, excuse me, all these countries you've listed here, none is in Africa. They checked, and they said that is true. To cut a long story short, I managed to convince them not just to come to Africa, but to come to Kenya, and not just Kenya, but here in this very Juja. And they came here for very many years, and we started at Kalimoni Mission Hospital, and that's how Kalimoni Mission Hospital ended up having an eye department. I spoke to some investors in 2019, and at Korea Primary, we built an ablution block, that's toilet. Korea Primary has got about 1,800 students with only 16 toilets. 8 for boys, 8 for girls. Meaning one toilet has got over 100 students. So we decided to build an ablution block. Those are toilets. And when we launched them on 16th of November 2021, we also gave them butter shoes. Each child got a pair of shoes, and we also gave them a school feeding program. I'll discuss more after this. Thank you.
For your time, sir. Next.
Hi, how are you? God is good. All the time. My name is Karanja Garashu Jaba, aspiring MP, Juja constituency, and I was in the last year by election as a candidate, and the reason why I came on board to buy as an aspirant, rather to buy in Juja, is because I've lived in Juja for quite some time. Since I was born, I've been in Juja. I've seen Juja grow, and I've seen roads come, I've seen buildings come up, and I still believe that we can still do more and achieve more as a community. To cut the long story short, I've been a marketing assistant and a brand executive at Media Max. Okay, that's K24 for 3 years, and I resigned now to join politics in 2017. And by as a retired one MCA, but I stepped down now to go into other things in life. And last year when I came back into politics again, I will not say I've done so much as my friend here, but I'll say we'll do more moving forward. And I believe that together we can. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Juja Rogara. I am Juja MP aspirant to Jubilee Party.
Good. Yes, Juja Rogara. I'm the Jubilee Party aspirant for Juja MP. I am the patron of Juja Rogara Foundation. I am also the General Secretary of Juja Residents Association, which is a member of Kenya Alliance of Residents Associations. I'm also a member and a chapter secretary of Kiambu County Coordinated Stakeholders Association. Under Juja Rogara Foundation, I have given 10 50-seater tents, 2 in each ward, free of charge to community associations. So I give them a tent they use for their own purpose. I have 3 tents which I supply to people with the occasions, Jahes, Alusi, and even Mashakaya, free of charge to community within Juja by delivering them. They stay in my place, I deliver them daily. Whenever there is a need, to the people, and then go for them later free of charge. I also have a public address system which I also give to those occasions. I have given games uniform to teams. I've given to a team in Wetege, I think it was called Black Stars. I've given 2 teams up there in Mirimaine, and one is a boys team and a girls, and one in Karimoni, and several others. I've been paying fees for several students in Murela Secondary, Delta Secondary, Pashoro Secondary, Juja Farm Secondary, and even Juja Secondary across here. I have given relief food through a forum that was initiated by this Madam Suwango. Most of you know her, Juja for Juja, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. At the KCC and the Juja Association and the JERA, we initiated the construction of DCC offices where they are now. We forcibly, let me say forcibly because I know it's not highly accepted, but even the Bible says the kingdom of God serves violence, and the violence are getting by force. So we sometimes use force to demarcate the police land. They did not want to divide it, but we got it at the KCC and the Juja Association, and we got workers, we built the offices for DCC there. We also stopped the construction of Juja Access Road. They were supposed to have a fence this side and this side, and the people from Kashoro were not supposed to cross to Moshada unless they use the highway. The Jkuat was building those roads. I'm an employee of Jkuat, I'm a lecturer here, but I joined with the community to stop construction of that road. That's why you can see the fence stalled at that point. We also initiated the constructions of Juja, the compensation of Juja sub-county security team. We initiated it by bringing in a collaboration between between university and the community, and when they came together, we formed a security team that has enhanced security in the Juja community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we continue, I've been told that in our midst, we have the Omatani Foundation representatives. Just wait if you are in. They also about party delegates. Okay. And we have the Jubilee party delegates.
When you go
Okay, thank you. So, next question. We're going to start with Mr. Dick. For 2 minutes, I think, if I heard you correct, you said that you have worked at a different human organization.
Yes.
And you said that at some point, Juja did benefit. And you are here looking for, you are aspiring to be a member of parliament in Juja constituency.
Yes.
Can you tell us how sure are we that Juja constituency is going to benefit? Because you know that under your leadership, at a different human at some point, Juja will benefit.
Okay. Let me say the reason why Juja did not benefit much. Those organizations, the way they work, in most of the time they target, it depends with programs. For example, the programs that we were working on was a cash transfer program and mostly was targeting the slums area. What my intention when I get this opportunity to be a member of parliament for Juja, it's not a matter of cash transfer. There are so many programs that maybe we can come up with apart from cash transfer. But I want to be very clear on this. From my party, we have a model that we call household economic model. So the way we are planning to do when we take over government, because my party leader is vying for presidency, we are going to cluster households depending on the need of households, from the poor, middle, and the upper class. So when we identify the lower class or the people in the lower class, then we shall be able to know that those households require some kind of intervention. So that's one of the ways we shall do it. But in other organizations, I mentioned that we do training. For example, the skills training. I know that you may agree with me, all of you, that many students finish universities, then they start looking for jobs. So the problem is what we identified in some of the organizations that I worked in, is that there is a gap between when a graduate finished school and getting the right employment. The reason is lack of those skills. So I will identify organizations that train on skills. Then those organizations, I will bring them in Juja, so that, for example, students, when they complete university at Jkuat, they'll be able to get the training, for example, in sales, all kinds of training. Then they will be able to be absorbed easily in the job market. So that is one of the areas that I shall target, or I shall put more emphasis on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
To Mr. Next question, to Mr. Kevin Karaja. You said you are a young person, umesema umezunguka nchi ukatafuta kazi, and you are a graduate. So it means you vying for a member of parliament within Juja constituency. You are looking for a job.
That's a good question. A very good question. First of all, the first thing is the job I'm searching. The second thing, I'm fighting for thousands and thousands of jobless youths like me. For thousands and thousands of jobless graduates like me who have not secured an opportunity. I want to fight for them. I want to ensure that in the next 5 years, the number will have reduced by 3/4. That's around 75%.
And what have you done so far? Those jobless youths.
So far, I'm the pioneer of Kazi kwa Vijana. I'm one of the pioneers. The second thing, we need to improvise on technology. There's something I advised the governor, the county government of Kiambu, to improvise on technology. Because the only thing that can create jobs for these youths is when we improve on the technology we have today. I can give you a free example of a speed. if you visit the copper market today, you'll realize that man in that market can only make around 3 spades in a day. But when you go to a country like China, you meet the same spade being manufactured by just a machine that we can purchase. Within 10 minutes, it can produce more than 10,000 spades. So we just need to improvise on technology so that we can create a space, so that we can create employment, so that we can create jobs for thousands and thousands of youths outside there who are very jobless.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to the far end to Mr. Rugara. Since the independence, Juja constituency has had a handful of parliaments, of which all of them they have had promises and their manifestos to Jkuat. If given a chance, which miracle are you going to perform in terms of legislation, the Juja people?
In terms of
legislation in parliament.
Okay. Thank you for that question. I know Juja has lagged behind for long. One of the reasons Juja has lagged behind for long, Juja has no original owners. Juja was just a platoon. Everybody came to settle here. People came from Plateau South, Mamu, Nyeri, Murang'a, and all over Kenya. And every post-election violence has flooded Juja with more new people. Actually, Juja is now dealing with a few areas towards that. So, everybody in Juja has been behaving like a sojourner, somebody on the move. And that is why Juja has remained the way it is. For a long time, we were going to, the police station was Luido, the court was Thika, and therefore, even currently we are paying electricity in Thika, water we are paying in Luido, even districts we have been going to Luido. I'm trying to say, Juja has been behaving like an island which is not owned. One of the reasons that has happened, we have elected opposition MPs for quite a long time. The first government MPs from 1990s is our brother Francis Munywa, who just passed on the other day. He was elected with TMA in 2013 and Jubilee in 2017. That's the first time Juja got a government MP for a long time. And that is how Juja now got representation in the government. Now, what we need, I will do, is that I will sit on the cake. I am a person who is always alert. You have had the kind of projects I have in Juja. You have the kind of association I have in Juja. And because I normally look for the people who can help Juja. When I go to parliament, I will liaise with the other legislators and the government so that I can put Juja on the map. Thank you so much.
Mheshimiwa Karanja Garasha. The same question. Okay, I asked, since the independence, Juja constituency has had a handful of parliaments, of which all of them, they had their manifestos and promises to Jkuat, of which I believe you have. For lack of a better word, what miracles are you going to perform to the Wajib of Juja in parliament in terms of legislation?
For one, we need now to check that mentality that we've been having leaders that who have been coming with the same manifesto. Some of us, we have the common manifesto, we have common goals that we want to achieve. But for me, the number one legislation that I will be doing, I want to put Juja in a clear roadmap that in any development in Juja, we will always get our developments number one. I have plans to do. We are having a big problem here in Juja in terms of water, in terms of our roads. We are yet to complete and get enough developments in Juja. So the number one priority that I'll be doing, I'll be going around in our different schools and any government land that we have, either is belonging to the chief or to the police station, now to come and grab that water issue. We'll be digging boreholes in Juja, and And I have a plan now to dig 20 boreholes. Now that will come and cover that gap of water in Juja. Number 2, for our roads, we are trying to embrace new technologies of doing roads. Now it's either we do bitumen or cobble. That will be my number 1 rule, because we have a new technology of doing cobbles that is mixed concrete and plastic, that will have a lasting road that will be done, and that will come and clear that our problems of roads within Juja constituency. And I know for sure our biggest burden since I was born and raised here in Juja, it has been roads and water and electricity. For electricity, we have new technologies of transformers that are coming. I'll lobby for more transformers to come here in Juja so that we can come and work out the issue of power blackouts within Juja constituency.
Okay, thank you. Mheshimiwa Anthony Kirori. 2 minutes.
I believe it's the same question.
Exactly.
So that I'm sure that I got it. Yeah. What I will do in form of legislation for the benefit of Juja.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Now, first we need to understand what the problem is. One of the major problems is employment, lack of employment opportunities. Fortunately, the land I was talking about, the Jkuat people got in touch with me recently, actually last year in January. So I become MP. One of the things I will do is the plan the Jkuat guys gave me was for ground floor 2,000 people. We'll build ground first, second floor, that's 6,000 people. Also, let's look at international opportunities. AGOA. There are a lot of opportunities in the sense that Kenya in 2019, before COVID, we only supplied 3.5% of what they needed. My idea is to make sure Juja supplies 1.5% to bring the total national tally to 5%. To supply 1.5% will require at least 200,000 jobs, so new jobs. So my first priority will be jobs. Second, titles. People have a problem with titles. So there's something I'm calling Kirori policy number 4. What will that be about? Get the National Assembly, I will make a law whereby if you work for the Ministry of Lands, you collude with land grabbers to steal land. And then we identify, when you go to court, we realize that you're the one who was trying to steal land. Kirori policy number 4 goes through, you will not be fined. Instead, you'll be jailed for 30 years. We'll also need to look at corruption. And then also, at the same time, agriculture. Agriculture is a huge resource. We have a lot of land that's not utilized. As the chairman said, there are 5 rivers in Juja. We have got more fertile land than Israel. Yet, many people sleep hungry and we've got many people who are jobless. So one of the things that we need to do is to use the natural resources that we have to be able to create jobs, at the same time attain food security. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Kevin Karanja.